Welcome back everybody, I hope you are well. My name is Crimson and you are watching Dusty Sim Farmer. Now, last time around I managed to get a contract underway and I also mowed some fields. However, there has been an update since then. Patch 1.3 has fixed various things in the game, but it's also irritatingly possibly broken some others. Certainly for me anyway. So let me just jump into the situation and give you the full lowdown of where we are, because I really wanted to be starting September, but as you can see, I'm still stuck in August. So our worker is still chugging around field 4, but the problem is a lot of the crops seem to have reappeared. Now that's great in terms of possibly cheating and hacking the game. We're going to get more produce at the end and therefore we're going to make more money. But in terms of where we were, it's a bit annoying because I have to redo stuff. So as you can see, he's going down the middle, but if I just take a little flyover to the edge, you can see the crop has reappeared. Now we had done a couple of headlands on this, and annoyingly, that's all come back, so we're going to have to do that again. That's not terrible because I think we were only about 30% through this field anyway. What is more annoying though is the crop on this field has come back entirely, and so has the grass. And you can see the bales which are ready to be wrapped, and in fact the wrapper which was left on the completely harvested field ready to go. So I'm going to have to move that out the way, get the combine over, get all of this reworked. That's rather annoying. Furthermore, the same can be said for the little bit of grass that we mowed up here around our rice fields. You can see the bales, but the grass is back to the state it was initially. Quite frustrating, but these things do happen. Initially, I thought it was just the case that I needed to run around the map and just get things to render. But yeah, it's stuck. That's just what it is. So, bear with me. I'm going to quickly shoot off camera and spend potentially a couple of hours just getting everything back to where it was at the end of last episode. I have no idea why this keeps happening, but the AI keeps getting stuck on what is potentially some very, very tough wheat. I don't know why. One of the things I mentioned a minute ago was the fact there has been a few breaking changes, and the one which I am finding quite irritating is the change to the steering for those game players with controllers. Now, you can use the keyboard, and I will just jump to keyboard now, and you'll find that the way it steers is actually now how the controller has been set up, which is you hold A or D and it gives you a degree of turning up until it reaches the maximum, and then it will slowly return to center. Now with the controller, you used to have a much more responsive experience. So if I went hard right, it would be there instantly and instantly left. The problem is now is it's just so slow to react. I'm almost finding it impossible to drive. I want that sensitivity ramped back up. So in a minute, I'm just going to go behind the scenes, see if I can reset that configuration and hopefully regain that level of control that we've always had, because otherwise this is going to be a nightmare. Let me explain. I'm just about to swing around, going hard left, and now I've overcooked it, and now I've overcooked it again because the steering just isn't returning to center quick enough with the controller. It's really frustrating. Right, release now. Let me show you the wheels, because that's a problem. If let's say I do oversteer and I'm coming back, it's just not responding quick enough. Oh, here we go. No, I've done it again. Just gently, just gently, just gently. Okay, I need to sort this out. So I've gone into the main options and I've gone down to the device settings down here. I'm looking at my gamepad. So I'm using an Xbox controller, and that speed of response along the x-axis for steering is exactly how it used to be. It used to respond instantly. So yes, okay, potentially not realistic in the sense that you'd steer hard right and you'd go to full position as quickly as possible. Now, yes, if you're physically in a vehicle, obviously you have to turn the steering wheel around. But when you've been playing the game like that for 10 years, because that's how it's always been, then to change it up now is disastrous. The y-axis is fine, and obviously I've got the right stick here. I've got, let's just scroll down, I've got left and right triggers. So you can see that's how sensitive it is 100%, and that isn't the speed of steering we're getting. But I don't think there's anywhere we can adjust that within the game settings. Gamepads and steering wheels are on. I don't need head or eye tracking. Force feedback, no. That's all sound. So that's the only section there with regards to input controls. There's nothing to be found under the graphics settings, advanced or otherwise. I'm just wondering, no, absolutely nothing. Yeah, that's really frustrating. Really, really frustrating. And then under the control mappings, under my gamepad, steering left and right, as you'd expect, left stick, I don't think there's anything we can do here. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back in the game, and I'm just going to check out one last place to have a look at the steering settings, because I know there's one in here for steering sensitivity, vehicle arm, steering back speed. Steering sensitivity is on 100%. So that, oh, hold on a second. Hold on. Now, this is new as far as I'm aware. 100% was always the limit. 200. Okay, let's go 200. Let's go full craziness. Yeah, that's, let's do that. We'll quickly save. And then I'll jump back in the game and see if that has resolved the steering. Hopefully that's all it needs. The steering's a bit quicker. Now that is still not as quick as it was before. It certainly doesn't feel that. Let's get down here and left. Okay, I'm happier with this. That is the fix I was looking for. The real telltale sign will be in cab, because it just is always a little bit slower to react. I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's just whacking up the sensitivity. Yeah, it's still not as quick as it was. I've got to say, it's not as quick as it was. I wish they would have left things alone. It wasn't broken. There was no issue with it before, but it is much better at 200%. I feel like I want it about 250. Still a bit wobbly. I feel like I'm kind of overcompensating, but I'll get used to it at that speed. Okay. Let me get things back to where they were. I'm just going to tip off this load of oats, and then we'll have a look at the contract in the top right corner, because our current contract is on 17%, but because we've already shipped quite a lot, I actually think that the transportation is much higher. See, there we go, 100% transported for field 4, yet the contract isn't actually finished. And that's because of the bug which put all the crops back, and that means everything that's left in this field, I believe, should be ours. Well, it only says 20% though. So yeah, as long as we harvest this, the contract will assume it's done, but all of the actual grain can go into our silo for pure profit. Thanks, Giants. You cocked up a bit, but actually you've helped us out in the end. So on field 25, I'm currently planting radish because I want to get that quick state of fertilizer, and that's fine. I can drill that into the ground then with the cultivator next season, and then I'll have a look at when we can start planting some actual crops. Field 26, just to the north there, will have to be reharvested, annoyingly, but again, it's our field, so we're doubling up on the content that we're going to get, crop that we're going to get, which means all better for us in the long run. I think while I'm waiting, and I've got my chap in the Agco White putting in the new crop, and we're having to kind of resolve all of this harvesting stuff just to get us back to where we were, I think I'm going to get another contract underway and chuck a worker on it. I'm going to hire the equipment and just look at something simple. Hoeing is not a bad one, because that's just basically up and down. I don't have to worry about buying any consumables such as fertilizer, and it's nice and easy just to get a contract worker on that. I'm already dealing with one harvesting job, so I think I shall just leave those ones alone for now, although they are quite lucrative. 11 grand, 11 grand, 10 grand, 9 grand. Yes, that might be worth looking at. 17.5 grand though for baling. Not easy to get a worker on that. That would have to be manual. That's slightly frustrating because that would be a good one. Okay, I'm going to go choose a nice, easy contract and get it underway. But before I do, this has technically finished because it assumes that the entire field has actually been harvested. But as we know, it hasn't. So I'm going to get this worker off again just to get the rest of the crop in. And I think the best way to do that is pretty much just to set it off as it was before. And you can see the two headlands and then the long ups and downs there, and just this little bit it's just finished. So I think we'll just do that. And the AI driver's just having a little cup of tea and a think about the prospects of doing some work. Just doing its calculations. And I'm sure, and I hope, he'll be underway any minute. So I've hired the equipment that we're going to need for field 9, which is hoeing. We've got ourselves a lovely little hoe there, a front weight, and a juicy John Deere. Now, what is it? 6R. Lovely. That'll do us nicely, thank you very much. Front weight on. Right, let's head over to field 9 then and get things underway. And conveniently, field 9 is just opposite field 4 that we're already working in. Let's just get around the chicane. This is a real test of the new steering settings. That is much better. Much better. I couldn't navigate this earlier. It was causing me no end of trouble. Yeah, okay, I'm happy with that. Things inside the John Deere 6R are pretty peachy. And this contract on this field 9 is 70% complete already. Doesn't take long. So actually this was a good choice. Nice quick job, nice and easy. Yes, about £500 to hire the equipment, but we're going to make about 5 grand. I'm happy with that. That almost just covers off all of the other payments for workers on the big jobs, such as the field on the left and the ones that I'm having to redo back at home. And I'll have to check what actual bit of equipment this is, because it is fast. I'm able to do this field 15 miles an hour. Happy with that. There we go then. Foot down. Oh, lovely. It is a wee bit bumpy inside the old combine here, and I think that's what was causing issues just over there earlier on, where the AI just gets stuck. It's really frustrating, and I don't know if it's just this bit of equipment. See, did you see that jerk just then? Yeah, I don't know if it's this particular vehicle or whether there's just some sort of odd clipping going on the field and maybe it just needs flattening out a bit. I don't know. Hopefully it will be resolved. Right, let's get this tipped off. This is all the spare oats from our contract on field 4. And what I'm hoping is that percentage goes up. It doesn't seem to be. So we may end up losing that contract, because I think the whole thing has got itself confused. In which case I think that's about 15 grand. But we are taking home all of this surplus grain, and I think that's going to be worth a lot more in the long run. Right, I can get this back to the store and I can cash in that contract. That wasn't bad. I'm almost where I was last episode. It's taken a little bit of time, but we're getting there, people. We are getting there, and then hopefully I can jump forward into September and start to push things forward by getting some new crops in the ground. So the oat field that we're currently harvesting, 14,400. As I say, I think we're going to lose that, unfortunately. But let's go down and cash in the hoeing contract, 5,182. Thank you, Noah. Pleasure doing business with you. Meanwhile, back at the farm, I think I'm going to have to intervene with some of our workers. They are losing the plot. I don't really know what's going on here. What seems to be your problem? You're way off track. This is the field you should be in. Right, I'm going to have a strong word. Can you shut the engine off, please? Thank you. Right, I'm taking control. I'm going to just finish this one off myself. Okay, so it looks like they were getting stuck on the headlands. I don't understand why that's so difficult. I'm going to go across and hope that this is what they were doing. Yes, I think it is. Okay, let's get everything sorted out. Pretty easy with the GPS, and actually probably quicker in the long run, because the AI sometimes throws an absolute wobbly, as you've just seen. No idea why. Alright, let's just get around here, pick up the course. No, where are you going? Okay, so maybe I'm not better than the AI. Lock in there, please. Stay on target. And we're done. Bit of peace and quiet. Muddy tyres. I like that. Tractor needs a clean, but at least we know it's actually doing some work. So, we have radish in this top field and the one underneath. Both need lime, both need ploughing and rolling. I really should have ploughed this one first, but I could do with getting some lime in, and I could do with getting a roller. But lime is going to make a bigger difference. So I may go and pick up a cheap spreader, even if it's just one that I hire, and go and deal with these two. An AI worker has a full tank. This will be another 7,000 or so litres to go back up to our silo. So I do think we're going to make the money back, even if I have to cancel this contract. It's worth doing. 7,600. Right, I'm off. I'm just going to drop the seeder down here on this field on the left hand side, and then I'm going to head down to the store and pick up some sort of lime spreader and a load of lime, and then that way we can make sure that these fields are all limed. Do you know what, there may be something I managed to get done this month. The time is currently set to half, so you know, we're dragging out this month as much as possible. Not something I would normally do. Oh my goodness, I've forgotten. I've still got to wrap these bales as well. Right, so I'm actually going to leave that there, and I'm going to go pick up the bale wrapper and wrap up these bales so we can start to make some silage. First one done. Right, I've just got to work myself around the field, pick up everything else. Try not to knock over quite so many signs this time. Just makes editing a little bit more difficult. Although hitting the bales is important. Right, I'm heading up to where my rice fields are, because there's a couple of bales around there. There's one around this field as well. And then that should be that job done. I need to find a way to transport them and stack them up, but I'll worry about that another day. For now, they're wrapped and I can pick them up later. Now this is my third load out of this field, 7,600 litres of oats. We are going to make a lot of money at the end of this. I've just finished baling up everything. So we've got a couple of bales over there. There's a couple of bales here. There's, I'd probably say, half a dozen around the two fields down the bottom. Looking good though, aren't they? Nicely rounded. So that's one of the mods. Kind of makes it a little bit more realistic. Now, over time, realistically, these would get fatter and more squished and just kind of sink into the ground. But I think that's a much nicer effect. So, what do I want to do next? Ah, yes, lime time. In which case, I need the right equipment, yield improvements. It's got to be under there, hasn't it? Manure, spreader, weeders, rollers, consumables, fertilizer, spreaders. Now, the Bredel does lime. And that's it. Is that it? Is that all we've got as options for lime spreaders? Disappointing, disappointing, but I think that is the case. Okay, in which case I have to go for that. And do I want the extension? No, I probably don't really, because it gets expensive. Small, none, 9,000 litres. Let's go for none, given the fields I've got. I'd rather just do it in fewer passes, 6 metre spreading or standard spreading. It's negligible in terms of adding an extra 6 metres to the spreading width, 2,700 against 2,500. So we're going to hire that one and then pick up some lime, which you can only get in these boxes. I'm going to pick up 2, let's go 4, because we'll always use it. Any surplus we can keep back at the farm. And there we go. Still got a load of seeds there from earlier, but that's okay. Get this hitched up and we'll get things limed up. Right, let's start filling. Can't remember how much this takes, but 2 won't be quite enough. If I look over there, I should be able to see the combine. I'm much happier about the steering now. I'm much happier. So, yes, I'm glad you're around to see me go through that. Yeah, have a little bit of frustrations. It's going to happen early game. You always get these little things that they iron out or things they tweak inadvertently, make things better, make things worse. If any of you play first-person shooters, Helldivers is a prime example. My goodness. That's a great game. It's a terrible game. It's a great game. It's a terrible game. I wish they'd just get it right. At least with Farm Sim, we know after the first month, 6 weeks, most of the major issues on launch have been ironed out. Okay, so here we are. I shall get another worker on this because I want to have a little bit of a break and just have a look around the map, have a little scoot around. It's getting late. I've upped the speed because I just want to see what things look like in the dark, and I think evening time is going to look amazing. We are finally done on field 4. As you can see, the contract is still stuck at 20%, so I am going to have to sack that off. I think we're going to lose that 14 grand. But as I said, I think we've made that back more than double probably in terms of the crop harvest for this particular field. One new feature in FS25 is you can see the vehicle you're loading on the UI. Up in the top right corner there, you can see I'm loading up the Lizard Dragon, and that's 48, 49, 50, 51%. As you can see, my hopper is dropping down 15, 14, 13, 12. I think that's a nice little feature. One thing I am quite conscious of is I am burning through money here by using constant contractors and AI. Yeah, I need to be careful about that. It's easy to do. Sorry, chap, I was middle of the road there. Yeah, I'm on 9,000. You can see that's coming down again. I've got one person liming. I've got the combine over on our wheat field that needs correcting, reharvesting that. I'm going to head back and drop off this wheat. We're going to lose the instant funds for the contract field 4, as you can see, because it's stuck. So I've just got to be careful. Right, I'm just going to pull off the road here, come up this bank. And the combine, there she is, we've got the liming wagon spreading and the combine's over there, so just got to find where she got into the field, which looks like she went in there, which makes total sense, and then came out again. Okay, and then went back in again. Never mind. Look at that, 3 vehicles all pushing the job on. Very happy. Busy, busy, busy. And that's what a farm should be like. Well, it is a lovely evening, pushing on to 5:30. Sun is still quite high in the sky, but the one thing I want to have a quick look at is other parts of the map. So we're focused on the kind of southwest area of the map where the farm is. We've also kind of covered this area down here with the harbour, although there is much more to explore there. And we've kind of covered the central area here, where we've got the store and these couple of fields 4 and 9 that we've worked on today. I really do want to have a focus around this area. I don't think there's anything to do here agriculturally. There is a drop-off point there for the restaurant, but this all looks like a lovely housing area, which I would like to explore. And then, of course, there's the east of the map. I'm particularly intrigued about this area here. So this road kind of winds around and then comes up, and we've got this lovely stream which breaks out into brooks and lakes and then feeds its way down. So my assumption is this is on a bit of a hill. And down here, we have a temple. I think I've got to jump in my rickshaw and go and have a look. So that is what I'm going to do. Going to take a right here because it's just an area of the map I haven't explored before. Now we have come down here in the truck when we've been dropping off grain down at the harbour, but when I get to this junction I'm going to head through the town, so we'll have a quick look. It's looking good over there. I think I should put my lights on just because we're heading into evening. Bit bumpy, I have to say. I should slow down a little bit. It will do 23, this thing. It is lightning fast. So here we are, and it's great. Just going to cruise around. There's no traffic to be seen. Green light, please. Yeah, straight on through. Thank you very much. What have we got here? We've got restaurants, takeaways, shops, clubs, newsagents, vegetables, alleyways with loads of stuff going on. I'll tell you what, this is where the nightlife is. What's that? Star Trekker. Oh, I've got to go in there. I've got to go in there. Oh, there's another one. Star Trekker and soup. Brilliant. Thought I saw a KFC back there, but I can't imagine that I did. Just a very similar branded sign. Okay, so I want to take a left. Actually, no, I'm going to go ahead. I've got a green light. Let's push on straight over this crossroad. And then bear left. Just seen a train go over the top there. There it is. Look at that. Over there in the distance. That's it. And I'll take a left up here. You can see the big viaduct that the train runs over. There's also a bridge back there I've just noticed that we may be able to explore later on. Nice houses, cars parked up, small residential area. Okay, so I'm going to take a right here. Nothing coming. Year 1 season pass, people. Getting a bit misty around here now. There's a big tunnel up there. I wonder if a bullet train runs on that track as well. I haven't seen anything. It just seems to be industrial at the moment. Big freight trains. But I haven't sat around watching, I must admit. Much of a train nerd that I am. Been too busy farming. So around this bend, left turn, and then there's a junction coming up on the right hand side. Oh, a bit bumpy. Let's just shave some speed off, please. Thank you very much. Little valley there. Ah, this looks like it. Got a height restriction here. This is the one. Okay, so I just need to follow this up. Hopefully we'll get to the temple. I've never been to a temple before. I didn't even know there was a temple here. But I'm going to take the opportunity to have a good old look around as I go. It is gorgeous. Gorgeous landscape, gorgeous country. Absolutely love it. And it's nice just to take a little break away every now and then from the hard daily chores of farming, just to have a look at what's right on your doorstep. Oh, is that a waterfall? I've got to have a look at that. It is. Have a look down there. That's gorgeous. Unbelievably tranquil. Apart from the noise of my motorbike in the background. Look at the sun. Look at the sun cutting through the trees. Yeah. Now this is good. All of the issues I had earlier on are forgotten. But you do have to make the time. You have to make the time to have a look at just how amazing this landscape is. Right, I want to get up to the temple now. I'm excited. I don't think I've got far to go. Just at the top of this hill. These are the rivers and the lakes. Oh, they are gorgeous. Yeah, I'm going to have to come back and spend some time here. I really am. I wonder if you can get a boat. I'm sure you can't. I think it's just part of the landscape. I'm sure they don't want tourists like me. Although, am I a tourist? I own land. No. I'm a citizen. So do I park here on the left? There's cars. Okay, this is looking better. Right. Let's park up and go and have a look around. I genuinely have no idea where I'm going. I can see a bench up there. So I'm going to head over there to the right-hand side because I think there's a walkway. I'm not really dressed for this. I feel like being in a temple, I probably should have worn better clothes. Ah, no, I can't go that way. Ah, there's the steps. And here we are. Feel like I'm expecting to see more. Lots of vehicles. Obviously, it's a lovely walking area and a lovely place to look out at the scenery, down into the valley. But I really was expecting to see a big temple. It's a lovely waterfall just back there, but I feel like maybe this is hallowed ground that used to contain a temple or many temples, looking at these bases, but now doesn't. That looks like the key operation. There's various smaller ones down here. Let's have a look up here. Yeah, maybe they rotted away. Maybe, I don't know. I'm looking for a plaque with a bit of history about the area. Let's have a look up here. I think this would have been the key area. Yes, I think this would have been where many meditations would have taken place. And just look at the scenery, you can understand why. Absolutely stunning. Look at it down there. Well, I definitely need to come back and have a visit, but for now, I'm going to head back. Keep my eyes peeled in case there are any plaques or any bits of information. It's lovely. It really is. I can see a little kind of culvert down there. Let's go take a quick look, because obviously that is where the stream starts. Oh, frogs. Look at that sun. God rays. And what a wonderful place. Look at that. Okay. Okay, let's head back. Got work to do, people. No, this looks like some work has been undertaken. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Planks long 6,000. Cement bag 6,000. Required materials for the next step. Hold on a minute. I think I can assist with this. Oh, okay. Okay. This is something I want to get into. I never built the roller coaster, and the lights have just changed just as I've made the decision to get involved with rebuilding the temple. That's a sign. It's got to be a sign. Right. Next episode, people, we're going to build a temple.